In today's News Daily video, I'm going to discuss more January transfer news and some potential summer news as well. I'm going to be discussing the long-term midfield target that could be signed next summer. I'll be discussing attacking reinforcement replacements as well too, as well as the existing contract situation with Christensen, which is taking more turns, you guys. So I hope you guys enjoy. Smash the like button, hit the bell notification button too, and without wasting no more time, this report comes from Football London, and they're reporting that the move for Declan Rice is still not yet over. Of course, Declan Rice currently, his contract does end in 2024. By the time next summer comes, he'll have 2 years left on his existing deal. And with 2 years left, can West Ham even possibly ask 100 million? I don't think so. Declan Rice is not committing to signing any new deals which could boost his valuation more for West Ham. For a while now, he has wanted to move for us over these past few seasons. However, we have been priced out time and time again. How long can this keep going on for? I'm not too sure personally. Of course, Rice has too much respect for figures at West Ham, his teammates and the fans as well, to ever force through any deal like what Ben Chilwell did in the end, to force Leicester City to play ball with us and of course allow him to leave and sign for us. Rice is not going to do that. So I feel like it'll have to be a 50-50 thing from both us and of course Declan Rice as well too. I think Rice is doing his thing by not committing to a new contract. I think with us though, we have to ask ourselves, what is the most amount of money we'd like to sign Rice for? I think after selling Zuma to West Ham as well too, for me, that can't help us in our favour in the long-term future. Doing business with West Ham, giving them one of the, best defenders for me in the Premier League as well too, really just upgrading their defence and helping us. I guess that's just like a little peace offering in that sense, right? I think Rice, of course, is a fantastic player. Every season, he's just growing and growing and growing. I don't know what his ceiling is, and I don't expect that ceiling to be capped anytime soon, to keep things real. I think he has that great combination of the physicality in which you need to cover those horizontal distances, those vertical distances. He can counter press, he can carry the ball, he can drive. I think he's got a very good first touch, and I see that he does things one touch, two touch, which is key and important if you're playing for a team like us and in Tuchel's system as well too. And on top of this, he's very comfortable when it comes to receiving under pressure as well. For me, if you sign a Rice, even a Shwameni, one of these profile midfield players, this gives you more tactical flexibility going forwards. And you guys know my thoughts on 4-3-3. I think in the future, that will have to be the next evolution that we see in this team. And I guess if you're committing to a transfer like Declan Rice, are you accelerating that possible formation change? So you guys, comments below, how do you feel about, the interest for Rice still being gone for the summer? And now let's move on to the next story. And this story is a bit spicy, this story is a bit interesting. But I'm going to discuss Raphinha of Leeds, who has been one of the most exciting players in the Premier League ever since he signed for them last season. He really is Mr. Leeds, where Leeds don't win anything if Raphinha hasn't scored a goal or played an assist in their game. So he's a very key and crucial player. There was a report that came out, I think from Brazil, suggesting that Bayern Munich had agreed a €50 million fee to actually sign Raphinha for this winter. However, German reports have said that this was so premature, it's not accurate whatsoever. If any business was to be done, it's going to be for the summertime. And of course, the reality is as well is that, things are still in the air when it comes to getting Coleman to sign and commit to Bayern. So it would make no sense. If you're announcing a move like this, essentially you're saying that Coleman is definitely out the door and he's gone. Him being on a free transfer would be absolutely nuts, and I think Bayern could afford to do that considering he's one of the best wingers in the world and is performing so good for them this season too. But again, Raphinha does have some of those qualities that I guess us as a fan base are kind of missing in the final third. That imagination, the goal threat, the assists, etc, etc. He's got that skill, he's got that ability, and is any surprise that us and a host of other clubs are showing interest in signing him? I don't think so. If any move for Raphinha was going to be made though, you'd have to be replacing an attacking player first, and I don't know, with reports that Barcelona and Dortmund have been looking at both Hakim Ziyech and Christian Pulisic. Who knows what could potentially happen with that? But at the same time, if any club's doing business with Leeds in January, I think you're paying an absolute premium to get this business and deal done. And I think maybe waiting for him for next summer would be the best thing. Before I end the story, you guys, there's one thing I do really want to say though, and that's the reality of, okay, how do we actually use our attacking players in this system? we are seeing tweaks from Tuchel now. We're seeing recently that he wants to have some of the wide attacking wingers receiving the ball out wide in space, with more infield runs coming from the wing backs, which is helpful and does work. However, it's not consistently used all the time, and a lot of times, you know, the attacking mids in the system have to run between the lines and receive with their back to goal. Raphinha is a winger. Raphinha receives wide. If you're looking at players like him, Anthony, etc., you're signing them to play them in their best position. And I say this because we signed a player called ZIYECH, who was also another player who receives wide like Raphinha, had the goal threat, has the assist ability, and has not once ever been used in his best position. So it gets me thinking, I can't imagine you have ZIYECH, you don't use him in his best role, and then you look to sign Raphinha for 50, 60 million, and then we'll play him in his best position. That doesn't make any sense to me, and that would be kind of baffling, to be honest, because it's just like, why couldn't we have done this before? You guys, you know, I'm not going to change my opinions on Z. I think the guy's a phenomenal player, and it kind of frustrates me that we haven't seen his full potential just yet, and I definitely think it's a system thing. When I'm seeing this guy playing false nine, playing on the left-hand side, playing as a cam, for me, I'm not seeing the ZIYECH, which I fell in love with back when he was in Ajax. So it's interesting, we're looking at a lot of these winger style players who aren't necessarily the ones receiving back to goal in those central areas, you know, holding off a defender behind them. Could that mean we're going to see changes next season? Who knows, you guys. But right now, let's end with the final story. And it's time to discuss this contract circus show with Andreas Christensen. It's not really making too much sense now. Now, reports are stating that there could be some more issues behind the scenes. I don't know how credible these ones, although it does come from a publication called Sport. And essentially they're saying that Christensen is looking to hold out until January, so him and his team can assess the other options available in the market. With talks that Barcelona, Bayern and other clubs have shown interest in him. From a business point of view, I understand this, and it's so funny because I was actually talking to my boy Audie about this, saying, listen, if I was Andreas Christensen in this team, I'm guessing the tactic behind this contract situation is to wait until January, where you're going to get contract offers from other big clubs, and then once you have them, I guess you can use it as leverage then with the club to give you the best possible deal, because the club are showing that they don't want to go beyond a certain cap when it comes to paying defenders. And I think it's interesting because our defenders have been some of our most important players recently over this past 12 months, and when other guys, maybe like your Alonso's and Co's, are earning more than them, I can understand maybe some frustration from the players that, yo, why are we not being paid the money that's reflected, considering all the goals I'm getting and the importance that we play in the system. I get that. But then we can't forget the report that came out a few days back suggesting that Christensen has let go of his dad, who was his agent, Sten Christensen. Part of me is just thinking, you know, Sten, has he really wanted Christensen to really commit his future to the club? Being a dad, I'm sure he's taken it very personal when Christensen was at the team for no reason, and, you know, I guess he's kind of felt some of that lack of certainty and confidence and assurance from the club. So is this whole situation being a way to, you know, to really get that insurance any way possible, I guess. But with our boards, that could be a very risky way to do business. I do think that Christensen wants to commit his future here though, but it's interesting to see that, of course, you know, you leave on a free, not only are you going to dramatically boost your wages, but then you're earning a ridiculous signing on bonus, which is just like, you know, can you be sitting down here turning down, saying no to what, an extra 5 mil straight instantly like that? I don't think so, to be honest. Let's hope we keep him though. I think that I'm really hoping this story and deal gets completed soon. You know, Tuchel's been frustrated, hence why Christensen hasn't been in the team as much. But I think one thing I'm starting to accept though is the reality that, you know, these contract negotiations won't be, you know, definitely sorted until January, because I definitely think the move now from the players, their agents, their camps, etc., is to assess every offer you get in January before committing to any future. So you guys, on that note, I'm going to wrap things up, keep things moving. I hope you guys enjoyed the content today. If you want to see more, show some love in the comments, smash the like button, and on that note, I'm in EFC, this is Blue Lines TV. I'll catch you guys later with some more videos. Cool.